not the Indian, not the colored, not the African. If he wants to bash your head, he'll come and look for you. He'll find you and he'll do his job. But he won't stand on the roadside waiting for a lift to do that. So I'm compelled, some type of compulsion, inner compulsion. See an Indian, I just want to go on, but I can't help it. I stop the car as he gets inside. Now, once that fellow gets inside the car, I must talk to him. I want to make him pay for the lift, not in money, but we must do a job of work. So immediately I says, what church do you belong to? And if you ask that question, it's an innocent question. Nobody gets offended by such a question. What church do you belong to? So either he says, any church, he gives you a name, or he might say, I'm a Hindu. Now, if he says he is a Christian, he is a type of a customer. Sometimes I give a white guy a lift, and I know he is a Christian. So what church you belong to? He gives me a name. I says, once you know he's a Christian. He says, you know that there are 3 types of Indians in South Africa? And the guy gets a shock. There are 3 types of Indians in South Africa. He doesn't know. To him, all Indians are the same. You can see our complexions. I know there are various shades of gray, but overall, there is a dial about us all that says Indian, 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 Indian. No, one is light and one is a little dark and one is darker still. But Indian, 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 Indian. So he says, no, what are you talking about 3 types of Indians? To him, there's only 1 type of Indians. As much as to our fathers, there was only 1 type of white man, European. See, when I was young, when you said European, we thought European was a nation, and the South African government also put it that way. Europeans, non-Europeans. That's how they classified us. In our tramways, in the railways, everywhere. European, non-European. So European, we are thinking, is a nation. But we know better now that European is not a nation. They are now changing to whites and blacks. But European is not a nation. Europe is a continent. And on that continent, there are many nations. Like the Greeks, the French, the Germans, the Italians, the Swedes, the English, the Irish, the Scotch. These are different nations. But because we don't know the difference, all white to us is one nation. Similarly, they say all brown people are one nation. So it's when you tell them that there are 3 types of Indians in South Africa, they get the shock of their life. I says, racially, we are dozens of different kinds. Racially. And the proof of that is, this is Gujarati Muslim, they call me Surti. There is a Memon, there is a Kokni, there is a Nyabai, there is a Hyderabadi with a politics, Minwa inside. The people from Hyderabad, when I met them in America, they are beating the breast of Hyderabadis. And Hyderabad, in central India, Hyderabad, the Nawab of Hyderabad, Nizam of Hyderabad was there. They were a highly cultured people. One of the most educated people in India are the Hyderabadis. But here in South Africa, because the term was being used disparagingly for our Urdu-speaking brethren, so now it seems like an insult to say Hyderabadi. But the Hyderabadis in America, I met them, they're beating the breath. Hyderabadis. Hyderabadis. Hyderabad ke hain. What do you think? You're not like you people, come from Gujarat, from Bombay, from here, we are Hyderabadis. So no insult intended. So we are dozens of different nations, really. But religiously, there are 3 main groups: the Indian Hindu, the Indian Christian, and the Indian Muslim. Religiously, 3 main groups. Racially, dozens of different kinds. Among the Hindus, dozens of different kinds. Among the Muslims, dozens of different kinds. Races. So these 3 main groups, if you tell there are 3 different types of religions. So there's an Indian Hindu, Indian Christian, Indian Muslim. And now, what is the main difference between the 3? Actually, the guy is thinking that you are educating him. But this is how you brainwash people. You program people. You make them to accept in a story form. You're telling the guy as if you're telling a story, as if you're educating the guy. He says, there's an Indian Hindu, Indian Christian, Indian Muslim. What is the main difference between them? He doesn't know. So he says, you see, the Indian Hindu, in his philosophy of religion, he believes in God's incarnates, meaning God coming down to earth as a man. That's the Hindu philosophy. And in that system of incarnation, God taking human form, they believe that Rama was the 7th incarnation of God. Krishna was the 8th incarnation of God. Buddha was the 9th incarnation of God. And they believe in endless incarnations. See, the Hindu reasons. And his logic is very good. His logic is very good. The Hindu, he's a very logical person. Give him that credit. He says that God Almighty is so pure, he's so holy, he's absolute holiness. We agree with him. Al-Quddus, the Holy One. This is one of his attributes in the Quran. He's Al-Quddus, the Holy One. So the Hindu also says he's absolute holiness. He is like a holy robo. Now that holy robo, that's how he thinks now. What does he know? How man feels. Well, let's say he sees a beautiful young thing. What does he know how the man feels? Does he feel the way man feels? Probably not. Then he says, what right has he to lay down rules for us? What does he know? Like somebody jokingly remarked about the Pope. Pope. See, the Pope made his pronouncement on the pill, birth control, pill. So somebody remarked that the guy who doesn't play the game, what right has he to lay down the rules? Does he play the games we play, the Pope? No. Then what right has he to tell us? Fertile period and infertile period, what the hell he knows about fertile and infertile. Similarly, the Hindu reasoned, he said, look, does God play the games we play? Probably not. Then what right has he to tell us? Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. What does he know what is to covet? So to be qualified, he should come down to earth as a man. He's born like any other human child. And as he's growing up, somebody is playing fool with his mother in the absence of his father. And you know how he grades, how he feels. As he's growing up, somebody is playing fool with his sister. Now he knows how it feels. Now he's married, somebody were to pinch his wife. Now he knows how it feels. So he's qualified. Now he's qualified to tell you, thou shalt not commit adultery, because he knows what adultery is. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, because now he knows what he is to covet. He's qualified. Now that is the Hindu idea for justification for incarnation, God becoming a man. The Christian, he says that before